You want to know why you keep getting played, why you keep ending up in situations where people manipulate you, use you, or disappear the moment they get what they want. Let's stop dancing around the easy answers and get real. It's not because you're foolish. It's not because you're weak. It's because you're starving for connection, for approval, for someone to finally look at you and say, you're enough. And when you're starving, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you'll settle for crumbs and call it a feast. That's the truth no one wants to admit. We live in a world that constantly tells you to be strong, to be independent, to be unbothered. But no one teaches you what to do with the ache inside your chest when you're lying in bed at 2 a.m. wondering why the people you give your heart to keep throwing it back shattered. So what do? You start lowering your standards and calling it patience. You ignore red flags and call it loyalty, and slowly, quietly, you begin to betray yourself in the name of love. But here's the twist. It's not really about them. It never was. It's about you. It's about the version of you that thinks being chosen is the highest form of validation. It's about the younger you who learned somewhere along the way that attention means affection, and that affection means safety. Let's break that cycle. Most people aren't getting played because they're naive. They're getting played because they lead with their need instead of their clarity. When you're in need, you don't think critically, you think emotionally. You want to believe what feels good, even if it's fake. You want to believe that person cares, even if everything in your gut tells you they don't. And here's the real danger. Manipulators can smell that need. They don't target your strengths. They target your wounds. The wound that says, if I set a boundary, they'll leave. The wound that says, if I speak up, I'll lose them. So instead, you stay quiet, you smile, you give, until you're empty. Let's be honest, being played isn't just about manipulation, it's about misalignment. You're misaligned with your own self-worth, you're misaligned with your values, and when you're not anchored in who you are, anyone can come along and pull you in any direction they want. People say follow your heart, but if your heart is wounded, it will lead you straight into more pain. That's not romantic, that's reckless. What you need is integration. You need your mind to sit at the same table as your heart. You need discernment, because real love doesn't confuse you. Real connection doesn't need to be chased. And let me say this loud for the people in the back. If someone makes you question your worth, they're not your person. Sometimes the most dangerous place you can be is stuck in a story where you think they hold the pen, but they don't. You do. The problem is, you keep handing over the pen because you're afraid to write alone. It starts with awareness. You have to be brutally honest about your patterns. What do you keep tolerating that goes against your intuition? Where do you keep compromising your voice to keep the peace? Who are you trying to save when you haven't even saved yourself? And here's something you need to hear. Love should never cost you your dignity. It should never require you to abandon yourself. People will only treat you at the level you treat yourself. So if you're wondering why you keep getting played, look at the contracts you've signed silently. Contracts that say, I'll accept less just to feel something. Contracts that say, I'll stay even if I'm breaking inside. Tear those up. You want to stop getting played, then stop playing small. Stop shrinking just to fit into relationships that don't have the capacity to hold your full self. Heal the part of you that thinks love means suffering. Because when you heal that part, you stop attracting people who reinforce the pain. Let me tell you what no one else will. You are not hard to love. You are just trying to get love from people who haven't even learned how to love themselves. And you're thinking their inability to show up for you is a reflection of your value. It's not. When you finally understand that love isn't supposed to confuse you, you stop glorifying chaos. You stop being pulled into emotional roller coasters. You start seeking peace, and more importantly, you start protecting your peace, because the truth is, once you learn how to feed yourself emotionally, spiritually, you stop showing up hungry, and when you're no longer hungry, you stop accepting crumbs. And maybe that's the hardest part of all, learning to be full without someone else filling you. But it's also the most powerful, because once you get there, Once you build that version of you that's rooted, clear, and whole, no one can play you again. Not because the manipulators disappear, but because you finally recognize your own value, and you'll never again let someone else discount it. Asterisk asterisk, so the next time you find yourself wondering why you keep getting played, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what part of me still believes I have to earn what I already deserve? Asterisk asterisk, that question alone might just change your life. You ever ask yourself why it feels like someone is there, but you still feel alone? Why the texts keep coming in, the calls are consistent, the "I miss you" messages show up right on time, but deep down, you know something's off. See, here's what no one talks about. Asterisk asterisk, consistency isn't care asterisk asterisk. Let me say that again, because this might be the most important thing you hear today. Asterisk asterisk, just because someone is present doesn't mean they're invested. Asterisk asterisk, we confuse attention with intention all the time. Someone texts you good morning every day, and you start to believe they care. Someone remembers your favorite song or reposts your selfie, and suddenly you think that's love. But what if I told you that asterisk consistency asterisk, without depth, without emotional presence, without follow-through, is just another form of performance? A lot of people are good at looking like they care. That doesn't mean they do. That doesn't make them evil. It just makes them self-serving. They want to keep you close enough to benefit from you, but far enough to never really commit to you. And if you're not grounded, you'll buy into that rhythm. You'll stay because it feels asterisk familiar asterisk, not because it feels asterisk fulfilling asterisk. Now let's look at this a little deeper. As human beings, our brains are wired to seek patterns. We're comforted by routine. So when someone starts showing up consistently, texting every night, calling every week, and we attach meaning to that pattern, we assume they're safe because they're predictable, but predictable doesn't mean sincere. Reliability without asterisk, real connection asterisk, is like eating empty calories. It fills the moment but never feeds the soul. That's how people get played, not with lies, but with asterisk half truths asterisk, not with vanishing acts, but with asterisk just enough effort asterisk to keep you hoping. And hope, unchecked by reality, turns into denial. So what do? We start defending them. We say, they're just busy, or they're going through something. And maybe that's true, but let me ask you this. If someone only shows up when it's convenient for asterisk them asterisk, is that care or control? Manipulation doesn't always come in the form of cruelty. Sometimes it shows up wrapped in comfort, in rhythm, in routine, and because they asterisk always asterisk texted good night, because they asterisk always asterisk showed up when you needed to vent, you start thinking, they must care, but look closer. When was the last time they asterisk truly asterisk showed up for you, not out of habit, but out of asterisk heart asterisk? That's the line right there. That's where the difference lies. Asterisk asterisk habit vs heart asterisk asterisk. One is automatic, the other is intentional. And let's not pretend this is one-sided. There's a reason you're tolerating it. Deep down, you might feel like asterisk this asterisk is all you're worth, that consistent breadcrumbs are the most love you'll get, that someone asterisk doing the bare minimum asterisk is better than being alone. But let me offer you something else. What if the silence you fear is better than the noise that keeps you stuck? What if being alone is not the problem, but the place where clarity finally lives? When you're around someone who's emotionally unavailable but physically present, it creates confusion. It fractures your sense of reality. You start questioning yourself. Am I asking for too much? Should I just be grateful they're here? No, you shouldn't settle for presence without participation. Care is active. Care pays attention. Care goes beneath the surface. If someone's words and actions don't align, believe the actions. If they say they love you but never show up when it matters, believe the silence between the noise. You deserve someone who shows up for you asterisk, not just often asterisk, but asterisk authentically asterisk. Someone who doesn't just check the boxes but understands the meaning behind them. Someone who doesn't keep you guessing. because love doesn't live in confusion. But here's the hardest part. You have to be the one to break the pattern, because no manipulator can manipulate you without your participation. You can't keep dancing to the beat of someone else's inconsistency and then wonder why your heart feels off rhythm. You want to stop getting played, then you have to raise the standard for what showing up means. You have to stop mistaking frequency for emotional investment. You have to stop calling it love just because it keeps arriving on time. Because here's the truth, asterisk asterisk, you don't need someone to show up daily. You need someone to show up deeply, asterisk asterisk. Not someone who fills your phone, but someone who fills your asterisk soul, asterisk. Don't fall for the pattern. Look for the presence. Don't get caught in the routine. Look for the asterisk real asterisk. And most importantly, stop confusing bare minimum effort with emotional intimacy. They're not the same. One keeps you hooked. The other builds a foundation. Asterisk asterisk. So the next time someone shows up for you, ask yourself this. Not how often are they here, but who are they when they are? Asterisk asterisk. That one question can change everything. Let's talk about something most people get backwards. Boundaries. You've heard it 100 times. Set boundaries. It sounds easy, right? Like it's just a matter of speaking up, drawing a line, and everything changes. But let's be honest. Most people aren't struggling because they don't asterisk have asterisk boundaries. They're struggling because they don't asterisk enforce asterisk them. You know what's more dangerous than someone crossing a line? Asterisk asterisk you drawing one and then erasing it the moment it's tested. Asterisk asterisk that's not a boundary, that's a suggestion, and suggestions don't protect your peace. We stay silent to avoid conflict. We don't speak up because we don't want to push people away. But here's the paradox. The more you try to keep people by pleasing them, the more invisible you become. You don't lose people by setting boundaries. You lose people by asterisk, not asterisk setting them, and then quietly losing yourself. And that's the part nobody tells you, asterisk asterisk. You can't have real connection without real boundaries. Asterisk asterisk, you can't build healthy relationships if you're constantly negotiating your own needs in fear of upsetting someone else. If every yes you give is a no to yourself, that's not kindness, that's self-abandonment. We don't just end up being played because of what asterisk they asterisk do. We end up being played because we refuse to walk away when we asterisk know asterisk better. Because walking away feels like failure, but staying feels like safety. Let's break this down even further. Boundaries are not walls. They're not ultimatums. They're not emotional punishments. Boundaries are asterisk asterisk clarity. Asterisk asterisk boundaries say, here's who I am, here's what I value, and here's how I need to be treated in order to stay connected with you. If someone gets offended by your boundary, it means the relationship was built on your asterisk compliance asterisk, not your asterisk truth. Asterisk, that's not love, that's control. But here's what happens. Many of us weren't taught to set boundaries. We were taught to survive. We were taught to make people happy, to keep the peace, to earn love through being agreeable. Somewhere along the way, we learned that conflict was dangerous, that rejection meant we weren't enough. And so we shrink. We people please. We say yes when we want to scream no. And what does that create? Resentment, exhaustion, emotional burnout. You start feeling used. Not because people are inherently selfish, but because you keep asterisk teaching asterisk them that your needs don't matter. Let me be real with you. The world will not hand you peace. People will take what you allow. And love without boundaries becomes manipulation in disguise. If you find yourself constantly overgiving, constantly over-explaining, constantly walking on eggshells, let me tell you something. That's not love. That's asterisk emotional labor asterisk, and it's not sustainable. But here's the good news. You're not stuck. You don't have to keep playing this role. You don't have to keep building emotional cages and calling them homes. You can start small. A boundary is simply the courage to say, that doesn't work for me, and then honoring that statement with action. Not anger, not guilt, just clarity. It's when you say, I won't tolerate being lied to. and you actually walk when the truth is compromised. It's when you say, I need respect in this conversation, and you don't stay silent when things get toxic. It's when you stop rescuing people from the consequences of their own behavior. Because let's be honest, some people only respect your boundaries when it's too late, when you finally walk, when you finally say, I'm done. But imagine if you didn't wait until your breaking point to protect your peace. Imagine if your boundaries weren't just damage control, but self-respect in action. That's what healing looks like. That's what growth looks like. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's you showing up every day and saying, I matter enough to take up space in my own life. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable at first. You'll second guess yourself. You'll wonder if you're being too much, too cold, too selfish. But every time you honor your truth, you build a new version of yourself. One who doesn't just hope to be respected, but who demands it by the way they show up. See, boundaries don't push the right people away. They reveal who's willing to meet you where you are. And the ones who can't handle your truth were never really with you in the first place. They were with the version of you that made life easier for them not better for you . This is where the shift happens. You stop making excuses for other people's bad behavior. You stop over-explaining your worth. You stop auditioning for love that should have been mutual in the first place. And you start realizing that protecting your peace is not selfish, it's sacred. So the next time you're tempted to stay quiet just to keep the peace, remember this. Peace that costs your voice is just another form of control. Don't silence yourself to survive, speak to live. So here we are. After all the heartbreak, the disappointment, the patterns you can't seem to break, what now? You've recognized the red flags, seen through the illusions of fake consistency, learned to stop erasing your boundaries just to keep the peace. But still, deep down, there's a part of you asking, how do I actually stop getting played? Let me give you a truth that might feel like a curveball. The strategy is not revenge. The strategy is healing. I know. That's not the exciting, dramatic answer. It's not flashy. It's not the clapback you rehearse in your head. But it's the only path that works long-term. Because the people who play you, they're not afraid of your anger. They're not fazed by your bitterness. In fact, some of them feed off it. They'll poke and prod until you react. And then point the finger like you're the problem. But healing changes the entire equation. Healing is quiet, it's grounded, and most of all, it's unavailable for nonsense. You don't even need to explain yourself when you're healed, because your energy becomes the boundary. Your presence starts saying, you can't access me like that anymore, without you uttering a word. You see, most of the time, we're not getting played because we're naive. We're getting played because we're still carrying wounds that tell us to stay available for pain . Somewhere along the way, maybe you were taught that love must hurt. That struggle proves loyalty, that forgiveness means keeping people in your life even when they've shown you who they really are. So you stay, you overextend, you try to be the exception in someone else's pattern. You believe you can love them into being better, but here's the hard truth. You cannot heal in the same environment that keeps wounding you. You want to stop getting played, start asking better questions. Not, why did they do this to me? But why did I stay after I saw it happening? Not, how could they treat me that way? But what inside me believes I had to tolerate that? That's where the power is. Not in controlling other people, but in understanding yourself . Because once you do, you stop needing other people to validate you. You stop measuring your worth by how much someone else chooses you. You choose yourself and that, right there, that's the point where you stop being a target. Healing makes you sharper. It helps you see manipulation for what it is, not for what you wish it could become. It gives you the strength to walk away at the first lie, not the 15th excuse. It's not about becoming cold. It's about becoming clear, and let me tell you, clarity is peace. When you're clear on who you are, what you value, and what you will no longer tolerate, people either rise to meet you or they fall away, and that's not a loss, that's alignment, but don't get it twisted. Healing isn't just lighting candles and journaling your feelings. Healing is work. It's sitting with your discomfort instead of running from it. It's holding yourself accountable. It's unlearning the parts of you that normalized chaos. It's refusing to let your past define your future connections. Because here's what happens when you truly heal. You stop chasing people who are inconsistent. You stop being attracted to dysfunction. You stop romanticizing potential and start honoring reality. And suddenly, the people who used to play you, they can't reach you anymore. Not because they disappeared, but because you changed the locks. You see, healing shifts your energy. People who are used to exploiting your neediness, your softness, your empathy, they sense the change. They realize you're not reacting the same way, you're not explaining yourself, you're not giving second, third, and 10th chances, and they fall off, not because you punished them, but because you evolved beyond needing them. That's what growth does. It doesn't scream, it outgrows and that's how you stop the cycle, not by trying to manipulate the manipulators, but by becoming so whole, so rooted in your truth, that manipulation has no room to survive. You don't need revenge, you don't need them to apologize, you don't even need closure, because the moment you stop outsourcing your healing to someone else, you reclaim the narrative. You become the one who gets to decide what kind of love, what kind of energy, what kind of life you allow moving forward. And when you reach that place, you no longer fear being alone, because you realize solitude is never a punishment when it brings you back to yourself. So if you're tired of getting played, tired of questioning your worth every time someone ghosts, lies, or leads you on, let this be the shift. Stop looking out there for the fix and start building in here. Because when you heal, when you really do the inner work, not just to protect yourself, but to understand yourself, you become untouchable in the best way. You become someone who walks in peace, who demands presence, who honors truth, and who will never again settle for the illusion of love when the real thing is still within reach. So here's the final question I'll leave you with. If healing could make you unavailable to every kind of pain you once normalized, why wait another day to begin?